Hi friends! So I have been in New Zealand and Australia for 13 years now, and people still ask me if I got here just last week.
Are you on a working holiday visa?
Are
you backpacking? Are you visiting your family?
No, I have been here since 2012. I own a van. I have a Medicare card. I have hit a kangaroo. No, I haven't. But I live here. What surprises people most is not that I live in a van or that I prefer smoked tofu over a Barbie. It's that I still have an accent. And some folks, usually people who only ever learned English, have the need to ask, "Oh, how is it possible that you have been here for so long and you still have such a strong accent?" As if speaking with an accent means you are lazy, you are not trying hard enough, you are less intelligent. A colleague of mine even referred to my English once as broken. Like, bro, what?
Do you know how frustrating it is to have to translate everything in my head before I say it? Do you even know how smart I am in Spanish?
Well, I will tell you how it's possible. It's science, baby. There is something called
critical period hypothesis.
It basically says that if you don't learn a language before a certain age, usually before puberty, your brain isn't as flexible for picking up a native-like accent. According to a big study by Hartshorn, Tenenbaum and Pinker in 2018, your ability to sound like a native drops a lot after age 10, and even more after 18. Guess when I started to learn English? I was 15. Too late to fool anyone that I'm from Sydney. Or even Adelaide. I grew up in the Czech Republic, and when I was 9, I chose German in school. Not because I had anything against English, I just wasn't thinking that far. I mean, Austria and Germany were right next door. I just thought I was being practical. I didn't start learning English until grammar school, and let's be honest, Czech schools are not really known for their amazing language programs. Few hours a week, outdated textbooks, and teachers that talked like robots. One time our class went to London and our teacher stopped to ask for directions and the dude just blinked and walked away. He didn't have any idea what she was asking. How embarrassing! And that was our teacher. She was teaching us. A lot of people think that just being in an English country will somehow magically erase your accent. Well, spoiler, it doesn't. It won't. When I moved to Austria, my German wasn't great either, and I have studied German for years. And it was even worse when I came to Australia, because I finished school in 2004 and I came to Aussie in 2012, so there was 8 years of no practice whatsoever. When I got here, I basically started from scratch again. I remember people talking to me, telling me their life story, and I would just be nodding and smiling because I had no idea what they were saying. And here is the real kicker. People often link accents with intelligence, and they don't say it out loud, but there have been studies made, for example this one. I'm not gonna attempt to say it. They found that people actually rated accented people as less credible or smart, even though they were saying the exact same thing. But get this, I speak 3 languages fluently, I have lived in multiple countries, I even have a flight instructor rating. That means the Civil Aviation Authority agrees that my English is good enough to teach people how to fly planes and to explain subjects such as aerodynamics. Yet, some random bob at a cafe still thinks I just got off a tourist bus because I say sheet instead of sheet. Wait, sheet? Sometimes I just want to carry a sign that says, "Yes, I live here. Yes, I know what a Leamington is. Yes, I pay taxes. Yes, I pay rent." No, actually, I do not pay rent, but I used to. "No, I don't need help ordering coffee. Soy flat white, please." If you are watching this and you have ever felt ashamed about your accent, I want to say I see you. It's not easy to express yourself in a second or third language, and it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. There's one more thing that occurred to me while I was writing this video, and it's something I just heard about very recently. It's the idea that the way we speak in any language can be strongly shaped by childhood trauma, especially the one that creates the mind-to-mouth disconnect. I have realized that I'm not very articulate even in Czech, my native language, and it doesn't mean that I have nothing to say, it just means that early on I have been taught that my voice doesn't matter. or is not welcome. If you were punished, dismissed, or ignored as a child for speaking up, your brain might have adapted by creating a kind of safety block between your thoughts and your voice. Even when you know exactly what you want to say, your nervous system still treats speaking as something risky. So instead of words flowing naturally, you might speak in fragments or lose your train of thought. You can be very articulate in writing, but struggle in conversations, or constantly feel like the right words are just out of reach.
I can't believe that you're being so what is the word?
Now add to that the mental load of speaking in a foreign language, which already requires more processing, and it becomes a double challenge. Not only are you navigating the vocabulary and grammar, but you are also overriding a deep-rooted fear of being heard. It's not just a language barrier at this point, it's a safety barrier. And I will be honest, I was thinking about starting an English YouTube channel for years, and I have had a Czech one for 8 years, and I have made so many videos from New Zealand, from Australia, but the thought of sharing that in English was just terrifying. It meant exposing a very raw and vulnerable part of myself. What if people didn't take me seriously? What if people laughed at my accent? What if they didn't understand me? But here I am, finally doing it, and I want to say, if you're thinking about starting something in your second or third language, just do it. Your voice matters, your accent tells a story. It means you are brave enough to step outside your comfort zone. Be proud of that. Be proud that your world is so much bigger. As a Czech saying goes, kolik řečí umíš, tolikrát si člověkem. As many languages you speak, as many times you are a human. Or English would say, to have another language is to possess a second soul. Isn't it poetic? And it's true. The other day I read an amazing Polish book that has never been translated to English, but thankfully I found it in Slovak and I enjoyed every page of it. I listen to German podcasts that English speakers probably never heard of, and I laugh at jokes in movies that would normally get lost in translation. It's like I get to live in more than one world, to access stories, emotions and ideas that would otherwise be locked away. And I don't say this to make anyone feel bad if they have ever spoken only one language. It's just to share how amazing it is to connect to different cultures and ways of thinking. It's not about comparison, it's a celebration. So if you speak with an accent, don't hide it, celebrate it, because it means you carry more than one world inside of you, and it's something so very special. And if you have never learned any other language, it's never too late to start.
Quiero poder decir te amo en todos los idiomas que conoces.
Oh, Jay, I love it. Now you sound like the stupid one.
Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who has felt misunderstood, and subscribe for more van life and real talk. See you next time. Bye bye.